Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Extraordinary Family Life Podcast. We're your hosts, Greg and Rachel Denning. Today we are responding to some great questions and comments that came in on a reel that Rachel shared about not participating in the institutions that are destroying family. And really, you guys know this if you've been listening, all if you're new, like we just highly advocate being unconventional, nonconformist, and not participating in tribal functions that are anti-family. Like, take back control of your life, your work, and your education.
Well, okay, because you said we're highly, I don't even remember what you said, but something about unconventional, nonconformist. And I would say in some ways we're not, actually. I think in some ways we're very traditional. Ultimately, we are very family focused. We truly believe that the way to improve the world, the way to save the world, the way to be happy is found in individual development and then family development, right?
Absolutely.
So it starts with the individual and then it spreads out from there to the marriage relationship. You must have a long-term intimate relationship, and then it spreads out to the family. And I'm going to say this, if all humans focused on those things in that order, the world would be a better place. Like, hands down, that's just true. Like, from everything I've studied, from psychology to history to sociology,
yeah.
Like fill in the blank, that is the foundation of a healthy individuals and a healthy society.
Yep.
So at times, that priority does look like nonconformity. It does look like being unconventional, because ultimately our focus is on not just doing the things that you're supposed to do and following the formulas you're supposed to follow. Yeah, follow them if they work and lead to those end goals. But if they don't, you have to do something unconventional. You have to do something different so that you can get those primary goals, so you can achieve those primary goals.
Right. And along the way, that may look like, to some people, it may look selfish.
Well, okay,
it's like,
yes.
hey, what in the world? Who do you think you are? You're just going to abandon society? You're just going to abandon community because you want to be happy? That's really selfish.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the real, I guess, and then some of the comments. And because we thought that this was important and relevant to discuss on our Extraordinary Family Life podcast, because I think that it is, well, I know it is a key ingredient or a key foundational piece for creating an extraordinary family. Like, you have to be willing to take some of these unconventional steps, if it's right for your family, to create the higher level, more extraordinary family life that you're after. Like, it is just a part of what has to be done, I think.
And 100%, I think right out the gates here, we'll just say, I wholeheartedly believe that that's actually better for community.
Yeah.
The world desperately needs individuals and families who are healthy and strong and solid and dependable and lit up.
Yeah.
Who are pursuing passion and doing work they love and doing it so well.
And who
instead of just robotic zombie,
right.
I'm checking the boxes and conforming for the good of society.
Right.
Like, that's
I'm
not
being responsible just to be responsible.
Yeah, and that's crazy. Like, that we would even recommend that people sacrifice their well-being,
and I know,
for the quote good of the community.
Right. And I don't want this to be construed in the wrong way, because we're not promoting the idea of being selfish or being self-centered or not serving or not doing good in the world. That's not what we're saying. But what we are saying, what we do believe and what we do live by, is that when you focus on genuine, authentic self-improvement, that's actually how you become more capable of being a force for good in the world.
Exactly.
Like, you really
have
don't
more to offer.
Yeah, you have more to offer. You don't have the ability to really be a good person in the world if you don't do that. And in fact, one of the main challenges you face with your coaching clients, I think, is people who, out of the best intentions, out of the goodness of their heart, they are, what we say, neglecting their families so that they can do good in the world. They're out serving other people at church or in the community or here or there or everywhere. Meanwhile, their family life is falling apart. Their marriage is struggling. Their kids don't listen, are
Making
depressed,
horrible decisions.
anxious, threatening suicide. Like, this is the stuff you deal with on a daily basis. And your message to them constantly is, forget all of that. Stop going out and trying to do good in the world. Come home and do good in your family. That's the type of selfishness we're talking about.
Yep.
Because when you do that, you as an individual and your family become stronger, better, more capable to then actually be a force for good in the world.
Yep.
That is the foundation of everything we live by and teach and believe. And our ability to do any good in the world, if we are doing any, is based off that. We started by focusing on ourselves. You focused on you, I focused on me, then we focused on our marriage, and then we focused on our children. That's where we started. And that's built a solid foundation that makes it possible for us to then be, and I'm using specifically this phrase, because it means a lot to us, a great force for good in the world.
And we have the opportunity and privilege to honestly do good almost daily.
Right.
Like, we're engaged because we're philanthropists at heart. But it all started, and we've heard this many times over the years, is like when you pursue personal development and self-improvement, some people say, well, that's selfish. You're being selfish. You're spending more time on yourself.
We've had people say that to us even recently.
I'm like, wait a minute. Like, if I just am like, I'm just going to give all my time and effort and I'm just give. And obviously you can't do that. It's impossible. And so it's like, but it's this idea we have. It's like, no, I need to spend my time with others. Like, what do you have to offer? Mm-hmm. Like, you have very little knowledge, very few skills.
Right.
You hardly even understand humanity or yourself. You don't understand psychology. You don't understand the sexes. Like, you hardly, like, what are you offering?
Yeah.
There's not much of you.
Yes.
And so this, quote, selfish approach to work harder on yourself than you do on anything else enables you to then have something of real value to offer. Mm-hmm. And you can do more and more good exponentially by, like you were saying, focusing on yourself and on your family, so that you're solid and dependable and capable to do good.